Hi there, Jill Hope here from I Shine Wealth, and you are here on a Tough Love Tuesday, and I've got a brand new video for you. Today we are talking about 3 signs that you are ready to uplevel. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I come out with a new video. I'm out a couple of times a week with brand new content and information for you. This is a really important topic to me because when someone is trying to change something about their life, and let's face it, pretty much, anyone that's a successful, driven woman is probably trying to create change because we feel that call within to evolve, to create, to grow. And actually, that feeling is inherent in all life. So it means that we're going to be stretching ourselves. We're going to be moving towards something bigger, trying to experience some level of expansion. And what I have noticed in almost everybody that I work with, and I've noticed it in myself and even in colleagues in different coaching programs that I am actually in for myself, is that we hit upon some common challenges, or at least they look like challenges, but they're actually signs that you are changing and that it's time to step up. It's time to step in. It's time to move forward in an even bigger way. So I want to share these with you now because the mistake that so many women make is they notice these signs, and then instead of stepping in, stepping up, moving forward, they back off. They kind of move away. They slow it down, and it kills their growth every single time. And I do not want that to happen to you. So what are these 3 signs that you are ready to uplevel? Okay. Sign number 1 is that you suddenly receive unexpected bills or bills for more than you were expecting, or some new unexpected big expense. It might be an appliance meltdown in your home. It might mean that the car needs a lot of expensive repair work. Something happens and it causes you to have to spend a lot of money. Now, this is extremely common, having the appliance meltdown, having things suddenly go into chaos in your circumstances whenever we are upleveling. Now, why does this happen? It happens because when you start stepping into a change, when you've made a decision that, hey, I am going to create this thing or move to this next level of my business or create X amount more money every month or whatever it is that you're choosing to experience. When you choose that, your subconscious mind starts to feel that there is a threat when you start moving towards it. And the reason why it feels threatened is because the job of your subconscious mind is to keep you running, within the programmed parameters. It's like you've got this program inside you and it is just consistently monitoring your progress and keeping you on track. And you've probably noticed this. If you've ever gotten in a car and been driving while thinking about something else and kind of losing your mind to the thoughts and not really noticing the road and what you're driving past as you move forward. And then you suddenly get to your destination and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even remember driving there. Has that ever happened to you? I mean, that has definitely happened to me, and it's kind of freaky. It's kind of weird, and it's kind of cool too, because what's taking over at that moment when you are up here in your thoughts is your subconscious mind, because it knows how to get the car from point A to point B, and so it kicks in to support you. So that's great, but when you want to make a change, when you want to go outside that programmed path, your subconscious now sees a threat, and it wants to stop you. And so if you start moving towards a bigger goal and you're taking those steps forward and you're doing some scary things, what often happens is all of a sudden all hell breaks loose in your environment. Like that's when stuff starts breaking down. That's when you start getting the unexpected bills. And it can get to the point, or it can feel like, wait a minute, something's trying to stop me. And the mistake so many women make is we think, oh, these must all be signs that I'm not supposed to do this, right? Anyone ever thought that before? It's so dangerous when we get to that point and we choose to see it that way, that this is a sign that you're supposed to stop. Why is it so dangerous? Because if you stop, you go back to square one. Any progress that you did make is completely wiped away. You put yourself back in the conditioned program that you've been operating under, and nothing changes. And then we get upset and we wonder, what's wrong with me? How come everyone else can do this but me? Why are they growing and I'm not? How come they look so successful and I don't? And we tell us all those negative ideas. And then that holds us back even more. And we start to feel like crap about ourselves, right? You with me? Have you ever done that before? So when we do that to ourselves, when we decide that when all this stuff is kind of like wreaking havoc in our lives, that it means we're not supposed to move forward, so we stop, we put our dreams on pause. And not only on pause, but we often go backwards. So next time you're experiencing this, notice where you want to go in your thoughts and catch yourself and let yourself know that, hey, the fact that this is happening means I'm actually making some real progress. I'm actually moving forward. I'm actually spreading out my walls. I'm actually stepping into a bigger space. We have got to allow our whole system to accept the change before we will see the fruits, before we like really start to experience that thing that we've been working so hard for. We've got to step into that despite the chaos, despite the bills. Getting a lot of bills is not a reason to not step in and make whatever investment you were inspired to make in the moment before that happened. And often what I've noticed is when you can take one step further, one step beyond the chaos and say, you know what, I see that, I'm going to take care of that, I'm being responsible with that. Because you don't just ignore it, you actually do need to be responsible. You need to create a response. You need to respond to what's going on. But once you do that and you still move forward, what happens is your subconscious mind starts to settle down a little bit because it sees that, okay, she's not going to die if she does this. We don't need to save her. And that's when things start to calm back down. That's when you start to be able to adapt to this next level that you've just stepped into. And that's when you can start really receiving the results of making that change. So that is the first thing to look out for. That's the first sign that you actually are on the right track, that you actually are upleveling, is receiving those unexpected bills, having chaos erupt all around you. Sign number 2, that you are in the process of upleveling. You start to feel exhausted or burnt out, either after or even during your client calls, or as a result of the work that you used to love doing. You're just not energized by it anymore. When that starts to happen, when you start to feel a little restless in your work, or you start to feel a little bit bored, or you're not as lit up or energized by client calls anymore, whereas you used to be in the past, if you've seen a change there, that could indicate that your pricing is no longer in alignment with who you're actually becoming. Or it could mean that you're ready to offer your gifts in another way, a bigger way. Or it could be that you're ready to work with clients at a higher vibrational level than you've been working with currently. And that is because your vibration is raising. Like your vibration is going up, you're going to want to call in clients on that same vibrational level. And so that can make it feel like suddenly there's a disconnect, or, maybe the sessions don't go as well, or that you've got a little bit of lack of enthusiasm or lack of energy or inspiration in those sessions. We're meant to love what we do. And when I am in client calls, I am absolutely in love. I love working with my clients. I love listening to them. I love hearing those things that they are not aware of, that they just aren't coming to, and being able to share that with them and let them know, this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm hearing. What do you think? And seeing the light bulb go off in their minds, seeing that aha moment, hearing that, and watching the up levels, watching the growth, that inspires me. That inspires me like nothing else I do. That's probably one of my very most favorite things, is working one-on-one with my clients. So when I start to feel that way in certain client calls, I know something's off with me. I know that I am moving out of alignment for some reason. And so that is a signal to me that I am probably up leveling, and I need to look at that. Now, I remember the last time that I experienced that with clients, for me specifically, when I tuned in, what I realized is I've got to raise my prices. Like I am operating at a different level now, and yet my prices had been stagnant for years. And it was kind of a scary thing, asking a client who's been with you for a while to up level with you, to rise up with you and step into that higher vibration. And you know what? Every single client said yes. It was scary for them. It felt stretchy, it was a stretch, but they also knew that it was time for them. And actually, I think when we're really in tune with our clients and we get that nudge, we get that feeling that it's time to up level, I think a lot of times we're tuning into them as well and getting the signal that, hey, let's grow. It's time to move up. We're ready to move you up now to your next level. So it's kind of an exciting thing. I see that as a good thing. I see it as an exciting thing if you feel like that in the work that used to really light you up and inspire you. And if there are clients that don't come along with you, let's say it's a pricing thing for you, and so you find that those clients don't join you in the next level, that's okay too. That means they will peacefully fall away and they will find someone that matches their current level. And that is perfect and that is beautiful. But when we choose to not make a change for fear, like fear of, I don't want to lose any clients, or I'm afraid they won't say yes if I raise my prices, and so we don't do anything, then we get stuck. That is when the stuckness happens. That is when we start to feel stagnant. That is when the creativity shuts down. That is when the inspiration shuts down. And work isn't a joy anymore. When you have no inspiration, no creativity, or no true and real evolving connection with your clients. So that is the second sign that you're actually up leveling, is that you feel a little exhausted, a little out of alignment in your client sessions. Now, the third sign that you are up leveling in your life and in your business and with your money is that you suddenly, whereas you never felt this way before, you suddenly start to feel a lack of confidence again. And you may even feel that imposter syndrome creep back in. You know what imposter syndrome is, right? I mean, anyone who has kind of stepped into doing your own thing to a certain degree feels it at one time or another. It's this feeling that you don't measure up, that you don't have enough credibility to do what you're doing, that you're not good enough, that you're not enough to be able to do what you're doing, charge what you're charging, and all of that. We look at what other people are doing and we just don't feel like we're enough, or we are good enough, or we can match, what they're doing. And so we feel like we look like a fraud, right? And that's a terrible feeling. There's no confidence in feeling like a fraud. So one of the things I've noticed is when you start to up level, basically what up leveling is, it's like spreading those walls out. It's growing bigger in your space. It's expansion. It's having greater conscious awareness. It's growth in all ways. And when you're growing, when you're expanding into something new, that means you're getting out of your comfort zone. If you're on a continuous path of evolution and growth, which is really what the inherent nature within all of us and within all of nature is calling forth in us, is continuous growth and evolution. When you feel that, and when you tune into that, and you actually say yes to that, you will be stepping out of your comfort zone. You absolutely will. The reason you're comfortable in your comfort zone is because you've been doing it over and over and you know how to do it really well. But if you want something more, and if you're growing and expanding, now that's all outside your comfort zone. That growth you haven't experienced yet is outside the comfort zone. It means you're going to be doing things that don't feel so comfortable. And that can mean you're lacking a little confidence, right? Because you haven't done it before. So you might move into that space of feeling a lack of confidence. And when you are in that space of doing something you've never done before, you also might feel a little bit like a fraud. You might feel like an imposter until you really get your feet wet doing it and then expand those walls that you live in, because you've just expanded yourself. You've just said yes and stepped into it and allowed yourself to feel those feelings and held yourself as you go through it, right? Because you're not a fraud. You're not an imposter. And as you step in, you build your confidence and you build your knowing that you are just becoming more of who you are. Look, you cannot be an imposter when you're growing. Why? Because you're just growing into more of who you're supposed to be, more of who your higher self is. You're just expanding into that more. So, how can you be an imposter of yourself? You can't. You can't. So, we want to just realize that if you're feeling that, if you're feeling a lack of confidence or you feel like you're an imposter, it's just because you're expanding. You are up leveling. Whether you're at the beginning of your journey of building a business, growing your wealth, or you've come quite a ways and you're trying to go to the next level. Either way, when you're ready for that next level, there is going to be that period of feeling like maybe I don't measure up to this next level. And that's okay. You're just expanding more into who you actually are. So those three signs, if you start to recognize them in yourself and you realize, hey, these things are happening because I'm up leveling, and you continue to say yes to that and you continue to move forward, step into it, allow it, and just hold yourself during that time, you will quickly advance to your next level. And when you do that, that's when the money comes in. That's when the new higher level clients come in. That's when that inspiration comes back. That's when your confidence blossoms. And that's when you step into a whole lot more fulfillment and joy in doing your passion, purpose-based work. So that's what I've got for you today. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are ready to step into your next level, I would love to help you gain clarity on what you're going through, what your next level looks like, what's getting in the way, and what you need to move forward. And I can best help you in a Make More Money Now clarity call. It's really simple to request your spot. You just simply go to iShineKids.com, moneyclarity.html. That's iShineKids.com, moneyclarity.html. And all the instructions are there to request your session. This is a high value session. You will walk away with major ahas. I have been told this many, many times. People love these sessions. They see themselves in a new way. And I love having these conversations with you. So go there, request your session, and I look forward to meeting with you. I also have a really cool program right now. It's ending in just a couple of weeks. It is the Joyful Money Blueprint 30-Day Immersion Program. This is a private 30-day container with me where I am holding you through it, walking you through expansion when it comes to your money. So how we do that is I help you discover who you innately are when it comes to money and how you are meant to bring forth your gifts and make money from them. So this is a very one-on-one, deep dive type work. That's why I put it in the container of a month. It's 30 days where I'm with you the whole way. You've got access to me. We have a 3.5-hour VIP day together where we walk through a lot of this stuff, and you get the clarity, the momentum, and the empowerment to say yes to the money, the success, and the fulfillment that you want in your business, and can move forward powerfully into 2023. If you're interested in the Joyful Money Blueprint 30-Day Immersion, you can get all the details in the link below in the description. I hope to be able to support you in either one of these opportunities if it speaks to you. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. Please go ahead and hit the notification bell, like this video, and please share it if you know someone who could be helped by this information. Well, that's what I've got to share with you today. Thank you so much for joining me and listening in, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Bye for now.